Yes, how y'all doing, everybody? I'm just gonna make this informative, short and sweet, but informative as possible. Um, yes, I do have a GoFundMe dealing with particular ailment that I'm dealing with that they want to do surgery on, and I don't want to treat this particular situation with surgery. I rather treat it with the cutting edge of technology through the stem cell therapy. What I have and been dealing with is cervical myomalacia, meaning the passage in the C4 and the C5 section of your spine. The spinal cord there is softening, and it's closing the passageway, making it narrow to where the bones are indenting in the narrow passage from in your spine into your into your brain, or your brain into your spine, and where it causes a lack of communication from your brain to the rest of your body. And if it get injured any further, it could or it gets worsened, a person could be paralyzed as a result of it. But as usual, they normally require surgery for this particular process, and where they got to cut into you, and they it's a lot of might and maybe a situation where it might help the symptoms, to where where I'm always dizzy all the time, and possibly due to the rising of blood pressure due to this situation, or I'm constantly bedridden, have trouble standing for long periods of times. I deal with dizziness all the time, causes chronic fatigue, uncoordination, what they call ataxia, to where in concentration, and it really leaves you. It causes a lot of extreme anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, vertigo, and just a voluminous amount of stuff, numbness and tingling and ringing in the ears, and almost to where it's almost it's just a rough situation to deal with, and you're bedridden most of the time. You can sit up, but eventually you're gonna have to lay back down, and then there's a constant pain in this area. And though they recommend surgery, but it's not a guarantee. It may alleviate some symptoms, but it's not a guarantee. And I've never had surgery before, and I don't particularly want it. I have been introduced to an alternative method of healing, which is a stem cell therapy. I spoke with several institutions, one particularly in San Antonio. They say where the stem cell therapy can help regenerate the cells that have died and passed on. It can regenerate the cells and start finding areas in your body that has ailments, and it'll heal it. And they usually use the placenta that they freeze and keep on reserves, and that are compatible for your body. They can't use your own from your own bone marrow, because your own is not healing the situation, and we lose a lot of our stem cells as we get older. This particular situation I was born with, that eventually progressed into what it is now. So I was wondering why I was always a bit slight off and uncoordinated, and seemed like didn't let me off a little bit and off balance and stuff like that. So this was due to spinal stenosis, which is caused from and as a result of cervical myomalacia. So Yeah, man, I don't want to do that. So, and it was very difficult for me to do this, but I got a GoFundMe here and look for support to um, fund getting a stem cell therapy. And then I could tell y'all like if this alternative method really worked and if it could be groundbreaking because it's so unavailable in it's so unavailable in this country in the United States because and there's no insurance that covers it. So I got a GoFundMe set up. They said for like I think it's like 100 million stem cells. I think it's for like 7,000 and 500 million for 10,000. They recommend for my situation was the 500 million, which is for 10,000. So that's my goal, and it could, you know, be very groundbreaking. It could be encouraged to see if this really works, and could be an alternative, alternative method as opposed to surgery. I don't want to go through the surgery. So whatever it feels upon you, whatever you feel upon your heart to donate and send, I just wanted to give y'all a visual representation of what's going on. It's called cervical myomalacia, and it affects your coordination, it affects your mood, it affects brain, just communication from your brain to the rest of your body. And if left untreated, or if I get into any accident to where this can damage further, I can end up paralyzed. So I don't want to do the surgery. So the only thing is missing is the money, and that's the prices that they gave me, in the 10,000 for the stem cell therapy, and I want to keep y'all updated on see if it works. So it was very difficult for me, being prideful, to ask for money or on a GoFundMe, but a friend of mine suggested that I do it to see, hey, how it goes. So this is what I'm doing. So now I'll give you videos on see how it works, see how it goes, and see how it progresses, and actually have a stem cell therapy. What I've been seeing online, it looks very promising. So I will thank y'all in advance. Thank you, for helping me reach my goal. Y'all go check out my GoFundMe, and description will be linked in the bottom. And that being said, I thank you, and I appreciate you. We're gonna see miraculous outcome, and for alternative medicine. So I thank you, and grace, peace, and blessings and love to everybody. And thank you for your donation. All right, y'all have a wonderful day.